Hey, and good morning. Nancy here for Channel V Star 333. And I decided to do another live stream at 3:33 a.m. this time instead of p.m. So, for those of you who know me, I'm doing babbling bullshit Monday through Friday at 3:33 p.m. Just a bunch of random thoughts and quirky quotes and just shoot the shit with some bodacious babes. And bodacious babes being, once again, bodacious is another word for just like most excellent. Hey, thank you. Now, I don't have my glasses on, so it's going to be really hard for me to read the chat until I get like way up here. So I'm going to have to do that. Thank you so much, TW, if you don't mind me calling you just TW. Um, Here, okay, now I gotta post that little thingamabobber, so I'm gonna have to. This is gonna be. You have no idea how I had to set this up. If I showed you, you would be all cracking up at me. Okay, so now I want to post a comment, so I have to go up here. Look, you see my hands. All right, we're gonna take this off for a minute. And do it this way. I'll be upside down. And hello, hello. All right, so under more, I'm sorry, post comment. And I'm gonna turn my phone this way. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. So I can do the pasty thing. Need one. I don't know where my stylus is, so I'm doing it with my friggin' finger. Oh, with me here. Now I should have already had that hooked up. Yeah, apparently I made two by mistake. So there you go. You want to come up and chit chat a bit? Ta-da, I put it back in the tree. Yeah, I have sorry. I need this tree lamp the other day, okay? So I'm putting the phone right there. Yep, that's my stand. Sometimes you can just be a little, you gotta work with what you got, right? So you gotta be a little ingenious at times. So my newest idea, since I'm doing the babbling bullshit, on Saturday, I want to do what's called maybe like Saturday social. I was going to do shooting the shit, Saturday social shooting the shit, but then no, that just doesn't sound right. So it's just Saturday social. And what I want to do is do more promotion and more networking for the people that I'm subscribed to. So what I want to do is basically have a panel of 3 people at once and just have them go and tell me what's up for the coming week. I did not just spill that. I'm so pissed. Yeah, I just spilled that. That was not. That was not. Oh, I spilled my coffee. Because why am I not plugged in? Okay, something's not plugged in, and I just spilled my coffee. Oh. Well, that means I have to get my carpet cleaner out later because I can't stand stains on my carpet. Anyways, so that so the whole idea just came to me. So it's like really in just the workings up here. I don't even have it on paper yet. In fact, I don't even know where my paper is right now. But so to bring 3 people up and go through each one, get 3 minutes and talk about their channel, what's going on in their channel, upcoming week, upcoming month. If they have people that, hey, go check, Billy Joe Bob. He's got a really cool channel too, just to give more exposure to you all. So it's not like about me. I don't ever like doing things about me. Um, so this is for who I'm subscribed to, not who subscribed to me. And what I'm going to do is set up an email called Sunday Social. Probably Sunday Social V333 at Gmail would probably be the one that wouldn't be taken. And then have it from Sunday morning to Thursday evening. Everybody can email me, and I can go in order of the emails on how I'm going to pull the people up to share what they got. And but I will have rules, and the rules are my house, my rules, my way, I win. So pretty much, no, just chill. I just want it to be chill. I don't want it to be, like, because I get so aggravated with the arguments over the Star Wars and Star Trek um, lately that I just can't tolerate it. My brain cannot tolerate any more friggin' retarded stuff. Um, so that's it. So that's like my idea in the work, and it'll be on Saturday afternoon at 3:33 p.m. Um, and I don't know, but I might keep the 3:33 a.m. because this is like the time. This is like my time. This is like my like quality, quiet, like writing and like let me see. I can show you something. Like what I'm working on. Like I made this tree yesterday, and now I'm doing a character called Hello, my name is Miss Weatherby. Miss Weatherby, she's going to be reciting some stuff. So she could be like my little co host for a minute. There, I don't know which way to put her because I'm trying. I don't, it's backwards, so it's hard. And she's wearing my son's football hat, whatever. Anyways, but I created her. Um, gosh, 2 years ago, and she was originally a psycho bear analyst, neologist, LLC, and what I did, it was more for like my own therapy, dealing with like my emotions and stuff, like my guilt, my sorrow, my anger and rage and my like my addiction. So I had names like sorrow. How I did it is I had her mouth moving, but she was like dictating notes after she had seen the client. And so that was like really therapeutic. That was really fun. That was like a fun thing to do. So I kind of wanted to bring her back. And I'm doing one story. It's called The Infamous Nathan Key Fight, and it's almost done. And but I need someone to narrate it to make it come alive. So I was thinking about using her as the Duchess of this undersea underground land. Um, and anyways, so that's what I do. I make characters, I make my own sets for my poetic stories. And this is just stuff that like I'm learning um, just by just by doing it, pretty much. I've never painted anything in my life. I got a stained glass. This is an old barn doors windows that I stained glass when everybody was on lockdown for the 14 days. I had a guest staying with me, and she kind of overtook my living room, and I have a very small place. So I was kind of like trapped in my bedroom for a little bit. And so I just started painting. So not only do I think my battery might die. So if I zoom out, that's why. Oh, yay, there's somebody. Hey, hold on. I don't know. Did I do it right? I do not see you. Because my phone's sideways, maybe. Gosh, I wish I could find my freaking glasses. I'm moving, so my whole house is a flippin' disaster. Okay. All right. I don't know what I have. Okay, I'm pushing the button. Okay, then I push on the icon. And then I add to stream. There we go.
Hey.
Hey, woo! I did it. I get so excited. It's the little shit that just makes me so happy.
It's good.
Oh, look at you. How are
Hey, how's it
you?
going?
I love that. That is like
Thanks.
awesome. That is so cool. So who is this?
Well, I'm Reggie from TWTG Content. I
I know
believe,
who you are, but who's your
yeah,
character?
well, that's me. I'm the
Reggie?
character. The character is Reggie from TWTG Content.
Got you. Okay, so what does Reggie do?
Sorry, the full name is Sir Reginald Stuffington.
Ooh, excuse me, Sir Richard.
But then, like everyone, just generally just go by like your Reggie. Reggie's like the common name.
And so
Well,
does he
yeah.
tell stories?
Well, I usually I'm hanging out doing like we do reviews. I do a lot of like let's watches and reviews for TV shows and movies, and I also I am the host for a game show. It's
Really?
like a panel game style game show.
Oh, how fun is
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah, it's a
Right
lot of fun.
on. I know
It's
I've been
getting those
checking out your channel. I've been checking out your channel. I'm real impressive at your multimedia and everything that you're into like that. That because that's me. I'm like all over the place. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
cool.
totally a very eclectic channel. It doesn't have sort of
Right.
one thing on it. Yeah.
No, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's definitely, something that is so worth um exposing, especially out here because
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known you unless it was for Slasher. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, yeah, so that's what I want to
Slash is good
do.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's tight. Yeah, I like him a lot. Um, so yeah, so that's my new idea. And actually my next thing I was going to say is the reason I want to do it at this time too is for my friends across the sea. I have a lot of people, over there by you and then in South Africa. So I have a lot of people around
Yeah.
the world that I know that aren't able or can't come on to these people's streams when they're live streaming because of the time change or the whatnots.
Oh yeah,
So
it's a
I'm
pretty much 12-hour difference. So a like I think there was a pain panel that Pixels was doing, and that's at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon for you guys, which is like 1 a.m. for me. And it's like, yeah,
right,
I don't really want to be getting up at 1 in the morning. It's going to be a bit
right,
of a hassle.
right. Here, let me get up at 1 in the morning so I can discuss pain. Well, it's pain
Yeah,
to get up at 1 a.m., so I'm not going to even do it.
yeah, exactly. The only reason I'm going to be up at 1 a.m. at that time is because I'm in pain, and I don't really want to sit there and complain about it at that point. At that
Right.
point, it's
And
just
what's
management.
exactly? And I've been on a couple of the pain ones, and I have to not go on them because that's just feeding into the pain, which I refuse to feed into my pain. The more I feed
Yeah.
into it, or discussing what all is diagnosed with me, because once I start doing that, then I'm I feel like I'm succumbing and letting that take victory over me because I'm acknowledging it and I am giving it power over me once I acknowledge something. But not like I'm not acknowledging that it exists, but I'm not.
You don't identify with the diagnosis.
Right. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to walk around going, I am so sick. Yeah, think about it. You do that, and yeah, sure, you're going to be sick because you're talking yourself into it, you know?
Yeah.
But that's another thing. So,
But yeah,
yeah,
Trish has
it's
like
depressing.
severe osteoarthritis and things like that. He doesn't necessarily go around like, I've got this wrong with me, I got that wrong with me, feel bad for me, feel sorry for me, and like he a lot of the times he doesn't even want to take the pain medication, and it's like from the point of view of not wanting to take like the pills and not enjoying taking handfuls of pills every day, and there's like other safer techniques of dealing with the pain, and like the
Mhm.
pain pills are like just a like if things get really bad and there's no other option, then you fall back on them as a safety net. Well, he does
Exactly.
anyway. Yeah.
And that's very smart because that's one um, of the reasons I became an addict because my doctor was my dope dealer. He was my best. He was, he's, and they build up in your system. And it came to a point where I couldn't mentally do anything unless I had a pill.
Yeah.
I was pretty sad. That was pretty sad. And then it came to the point where it was like, wow. And then going through the withdrawals because you run out of them or what, whatever, or you take too many because then you start building up a tolerance to them. And, then you have
Yeah.
to take pill for this pill. And, one pill makes you larger, one pill makes you small, and, yeah,
You
so
got pain pills, and then you've got pills for the side effects, and then those
mhm,
pills for the side effects have side effects. So you got to take pills for the side effects of the side effects of the side effects, and then just to stop, make sure that there's no other side effects. There's some more pills to help with that. But be warned,
right,
there's side effects.
right. And then you'll have to go to counseling for the
Yeah.
mental side effects that, but
Oh yeah.
seriously, the
Like antidepressants that have a side effect of psychosis is always great.
because I'm gonna run out of my pills. Well, here, let me prescribe you to go see Miss Mary Weatherby, psychobarologist, and she'll take care of you and talk you through that. Um, the medication actually made my kidney shut down and gave me kidney failure, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it was a nightmare the last past 3 years. So, and I mean, there's days that I can't get out of bed for 4 days or whatever, and that I'm just out and I'm in excruciating pain. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But still, if it, and I was talking and I hit on this last night or early this, yeah, well, yeah, last night, but if I just focus on doing one thing, actually, I write 3 things down that I want to accomplish that day. So just 3. That's it. If I do more, great. But I got to get those 3 things done. So one might be brush my teeth. Okay, that's I'm feeling bad today. So I'm just going, I can only brush my teeth and maybe go to the bathroom and maybe um, brush my hair. And that's all I'm going to do today because I'm feeling bad. But I do those 3 things, and at least I accomplish those 3 things. Then maybe if I get up and do a dish or two, or something, then that's something extra. Those are like on my really bad days.
Yeah.
But on like on a normal day, just do something. Because something is better than doing nothing and just sitting there wishing. Oh, I wish my
Oh
house
yeah.
was clean.
I
So
had I just up to the point where I was like, yeah, I really, really need to do some laundry right now. And then the back gives out and I can't walk for 2 weeks.
right,
And sort of like, well, no, I have no laundry clean, because this is the absolute worst time for my back to give out because I can't carry the laundry down to the laundromat and put it in. And I let alone sit there for however many, like, was it half an hour while it goes through the process. So you're sort of like, okay, well, Um, what if you find yourself in this situation again? What are you going to do? You're going to have to find some other way of getting the laundry done. So, um, your task for today is to go online for 15 minutes and try and find another alternative. And if you don't
Hmm.
find anything, well, you've done 15 minutes, and that was the goal. And then you can shut the computer down, go and lay down for a while, and then come back to it later.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I, with the laundry stuff too, I don't have a laundry room. Okay. And I don't have a car because, long story short, when I was dying, literally, I gave all my stuff away. So I haven't like regained my stuff because I'm not dying anymore. So, um, what I have done is I actually wash all my clothes by hand because number one, it's really good exercise for your
yeah,
arms. But I only do like three or four little items a day. Okay, but not like bed sheets or blankets or anything like that.
yeah,
But even because I could sit there and I got a big old pot. So I have a big old pot for. I mean, like I'm like, how did they do it back way back when? I'm like thinking, all right, this laundry's got to get done. I'm here in Kentucky by myself. I know nobody. I can't go anywhere because I'm physically unable to go anywhere. How am I going to get this done? It's got to be done. I have to have clean clothes. I'm not going to walk around like a stinky ass. You know what I'm saying? So, and they built this little system. And even now, when I have the option of any one of my friends coming to grab me to go to the laundromat, I only use, I still um, do three to four little items a day because it's
yeah,
movement. And with the sciatica and the pinched nerves and the degenerated disc and the blah, blah, blahs in my back,
yeah,
so the twisting and the movement is what, and the stretching is what's really important for those types of conditions. Because I find what really sucks is if I sit too long or stand too long or lay too long, I'm effed. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And if you
Yeah,
have
the
back
longer you
issues,
sit around, the worse it gets. The
mhm,
key I've always found is as soon as you start getting into that pain where you get to the point where you can't walk, the one thing you've got to do is walk. You've got to move,
exactly.
you've got to keep moving. If you stop moving at that point, you're going to seize up. You seize up when your pain is gone, you're not going to be able to move. So that means that next time that comes, you're going to be 100 times worse.
Right,
So it's
because it
just
adds to it. Hmm.
whatever little movement you can do, no matter how much pain you're in, assuming it's not going to aggravate a physical damage, you just keep doing as much movement of any sort as you can. Like even if it's as much as like you can't get out of bed, so you just sort of lift your legs a little bit or you roll
Hmm.
around. Just try and do something so that you're not still, and that you've got to keep those joints going. It's really
Just
important
sitting here
movement.
talking to you, I've already switched legs like six times in my
Oh
lap
yeah,
here. You can't see, but switched
yeah,
them over. Yeah. But then again, I was never one to sit still. I can I am a very hyperactive person anyways, but um I get nervous sitting still.
yeah. Well,
That's why
my
I need to be
puppeteer is.
portable. That's why I need like a portable, a bigger phone. I need someone to
Like a
create
tablet. You need like a
that like
tablet with like a thing that holds it,
yeah, but it
like an
needs to be
iPad.
able to be a phone too. Like
Well,
to
by the
make
tablet, you can
I
get
want
it.
an all in one
Yeah, you can get it
portable.
like a tablet that has a like a phone takes a phone SIM. You can get those.
Good.
You can get like I've actually got one. It's a Samsung Tab A. You get them. It's Wi-Fi and cellular data capable, and yeah, you can put a SIM card into it.
Okay, is that the new one that just came out?
No, no, it's not a new one. It's probably about 4 or 5 years old now, but they do exist. It's like a little bit of looking around, but you should be able to find a tablet device that has both Wi-Fi and cellular data, and you just go and get yourself a like a SIM card, like your prepaid SIM card, and chuck it in, and off you go.
Okay.
You prepay your data and prepay your phone calls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And a laptop. and I need a laptop too. Because I'm thinking in the
Yeah.
future. I'm on the boat. When I'm on my boat, I'm gonna need that too. Because that's my
Uh,
my ultimate goal. Like the little, baby steps to reach, whatever your whatever goal. But but Samsung did come out with the new. I have a Samsung A50 right now, Galaxy A50, and I wanted
yeah.
to upgrade to the new A20 notebook or whatever that they had. Um, but since it's so new, check this out. Okay, now I've been with um, Sprint, my provider, for a couple years, and I've never missed, any payments, whatever, with my phone. I've already paid off 3 phones and stuff like that. They would not let me slide for an $150 that I was short on the deposit. And I said, well, how much is the deposit? I said, because my phone, this phone's not even a year old. Okay. This is like a $1,500 phone. They're like, oh yeah, it's worth $140 trade-in value. What?
Uh,
What? What? Yeah, that's what
I
they're
don't know.
telling me.
Yeah,
140. No way. This is like, no way. I have a $1,400 phone and you're telling me it's worth nothing
yeah,
now?
that's the thing is the technology devalues really quickly. Like when you buy a car, if unless you're buying a $40,000 car, it's going to devalue really quickly. But
I
if you're
didn't know
buying
that
like
you
a
did
luxury
like
car
that.
that's like $50,000, then you're going to be able to like it's an investment. And there's like these are luxury vehicles, and they make only like 200 a year of each model. So yeah, then those
Yeah, but
ones are worth money. But a normal car, if you get like your normal like your 1990s Ford and buy it, then within a few days it's going like the moment you buy it, it goes down in value. And like say you get the latest what are we now 2020, you get the 2020 Ford, then the moment you drive it off the car lot it like goes down.
wow, yeah, deprecious. Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't know this about phones.
Yeah, phones end up being essentially the same. I don't know if it's like, I think the problem is that the secondhand phone market tends to be essentially just stolen phones. So it becomes a little
Right.
bit sort of like, well, there's a
That
90% chance that the phone that you're trading in or buying secondhand is stolen. So there's a 90% chance that it's going to be some sort of issue somewhere down the line, or it could be anyway.
right. I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, yeah, but
Hmm.
then it could be just
My
that
little
they.
my little I'm sorry, my little bad side criminal paralegal mind is like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm a good girl. I don't play that way no more. but I'm just like, wow, that's a lucrative market. I could see that. So they have
Yeah.
throwaway phones like that. Yeah, okay.
Well, a lot of it is disposable technology. Like,
Well,
you
sure.
wonder why they made it so that you can't open them up anymore. Like most
I
phones, you
was
can't open
wondering
them up.
about that. Yes. Wow, I
It's
didn't think
even
about
that
that.
Apple, I believe it's Apple that want to bring in some laws that say that from basically there's a lot of wording that goes behind it, but the idea is that you don't actually buy and own the phone. You're just paying for the right to use the phone. The phone always remains the property of Apple.
Oh, wow.
So that means that if somebody who works on it is not authorized by Apple, it's their tech. They own the technology, and you're not allowed to open it up and fix it unless it's a Apple authorized person. You can't
Interesting.
fix your own phone. You can't. You're no. You don't own your own phone. You're not allowed to access anything beyond what you can, like what is allowed officially.
Well,
So
Apple and me have a little business to take care of when it comes to the Great Pumpkin,
yeah,
Charlie Brown. Yeah, my Great Pumpkin here is really pissed. So we wrote a little story.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So you say apple, that just leaves a sour effing taste in my mouth right now. Anything to do with apple.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I don't like apple either myself.
because Pumpkinhead was going to rise and eat the bad apple. Wait for it. It's gonna be a good story. I can't. My friend is gonna actually do the artwork and turn it into a comic, which is like I've never
Cool.
had. Yeah, I just write poetry. That's it. That's all I've done for like since I was 13 years old. And then I decided to turn my poems that I wrote for the last 17 years instead of writing my story, so I don't have to call out like, and my ex-husband this, or and my ex-lover did this, and then my son, and the blah blah blah. It was all like in poetic form, and it just called, and it kind of like just kind of fits together, and it's called On Scraps of Paper. Well, so that was 17 years of writing, um, and literally on scraps of paper, whatever I could get my hands on, I write on. As a writer, a lot of people do that. So putting all that together was an absolute effing nightmare.
Yeah.
And so I finally wrote the ending. Thank myself very much. Um, and so now that's aside. But at the end, when I was putting it together, I said, how can I just don't want to put it in a book. Like,
Yeah.
boring. What could I do? And that's when I started making inanimate objects talk and recite my poems. And so I've got all of them out there, but now I have to put them in a virtual book. So henceforth, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just get a phone, because I'm just thinking in my limited technology brain, because I quit working in 2016. Um, oh, I'll just go pick up a better phone and I'll be able to do everything on my phone.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to me, how just in that short amount of time, how much technology has fucking changed. And I'm just like, I felt like my mother did
Still.
when the VCRs came out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Mom, what do you mean you don't know how to operate a VCR? And then my son, he's away. And I'm like, where's my son when I need him? Because I have no clue what I'm doing. And that's how I got involved with the Boo View. I went on to go search some stuff, and then I ran into somebody whose name happens to be the same as my ex and my son's name, and I was doing a video against my ex. Okay, but it was like the moon talking to the star, which like the father talking to the son, and the mother, Earth, coming, and so it was like this like little planet family. Okay, and I was outside and I was filming one of the, I think it was the very first harvest moon, one of those really big ones. So it was like really cool because I could make that really talk good with the phone, right? And so, anyways, I accidentally sent the audio to this poor person who has the same name.
Uh,
And that's how I got started on the Boo Review. And so then I'm like, oh, he's an author. Well, let me read. Oh, he's into this. So let me read that. And then I got contacted with Trey with Max World and Bear and all the Star Trek and all the fandom, all them people. And then slowly but surely, then I started meeting more and more. And I'm like, oh my God, these guys are so brilliant. These young kids coming up are so brilliant. And I'm like, you know what? There's so much bullshit going on. There's no reason for these guys to get together and start doing their own media. You don't
yeah.
like it? Do your own fucking, you do your own flipping
Yeah.
comics. You don't like it? Write your own stories. You guys are brilliant. Oh, well, we don't have no $5 million. I said, you know what? Write it and it will come. The money will
Yeah. Yeah.
come. The money will friggin' come. It will manifestate itself if you have a really good idea. So anyway,
Um.
and that's
Yeah.
where I'm at now since September. So it's been a cool journey. And now look, now I met you, and And that's really cool too. So now I have another person I can add to a multimedia of expansion, you know, which is
Yeah.
awesome. So cool. I love stuff like that. It
Um,
makes me, that's what makes me happy is just seeing others succeed because, I mean, like, I'm not going to live forever. So, I would like somebody to take whatever, like I actually just like threw the box down one day in front of like all my musician friends. I said, have at it, whatever you want, take and do whatever with, because I'm going to burn the effer down because I can't stand carrying 4,017 pieces of paper of poetry around with me anymore. And I do with it, it's all written and everything. Oh, don't get rid of it, Nance, don't get rid of it. And so, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
yeah, it does.
Just to take.
Like what you were saying with the getting, like they're going to write it first. Um, I can't remember the guy's name who wrote the movie The Wawa Diaries, and he
Yeah.
also wrote about. Do you know the guy's name
No, I don't
that
know, but
wrote?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
But yeah, he's like a fairly well-known actor who's got connections and stuff like that, and he wrote a book about the making of the movie, and like yeah, he's basically he had it like you had it. It's all on scraps of paper and whatnot, and then like the hammer dropped and someone said like yeah, let's look at making this into a movie, and he's like oh crap, now I've got to write it into actually a thing. So if he had actually sat down and had it written in advance and taken the time to collate all the notes and scraps of paper into something coherent, then the stage
Right.
of going from that to turning it into a script would have been a lot quicker. And then like because that's not it's not like you make it into a script and then it goes to air. You make it into a script, then you find the right people, then they find the right backers, and then they find the right thing happens there, and then you have to do rewrites, and then they think it's all okay and they're about to go, and then you've got to do more rewrites, and then somebody pulls out and you've got to find them again. So there's a lot to it. It's not just as simple as oh yeah, give
Right.
me the money, make it. It's like
Right.
have as much done and as much ready to go so that when someone turns up and taps you, you're ready to go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I've already gotten the tap. And um, which is coming really soon. I'm having an interview with one of my childhood friends who's been a musician all of his life and has had his own production company with his music. Who now I on the infamous Nathan Kevite is a drummer. Okay, and he has this beat that nobody else can do. So that is like a little bit of the story behind Nathan Kevite.
Yeah.
So my friend Chris is a drummer. I'm like, man, I need a beat. So I need like an actual beat. So in the background we can have like this actual beat. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna call Captain Chris Holds. I'm like, um, he'll give me some beats. I mean, I grew up with him, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still connected to all my friends. So I'm like, I get a hold of him through Facebook. We haven't talked in years, like, like friends. But I know that he just moved up to Colorado. My best friend moved up to Colorado before that. Another one moved up. So like four of my friends from California moved up to Colorado. Well, I knew that Chris moved up there too. So I'm like, hey, well, what's up, dude? I said, look, I'm writing this story, blah, blah, blah. He goes, you're effing kidding me. I said, no. He said, guess what, Nance? And then Pada opened up and Mars Media Incorporated, which is starting from, this is like an embryo right now, is now in the works, where he
Cool.
actually took his a character.
Hello? Hello? I'm not sure if it's frozen on my end or frozen on your end. Anyone in the chat can say, let us know what's happening. Am I frozen? I guess if I'm frozen, you won't hear me asking, am I frozen? Hey, Lemons, can you hear me? It's her internet that's all up. Well, I'll hang out here and I'll chat with you guys a little bit, and Hopefully she'll jump back in a second and it'll all be unfrozen again. But hey, yeah, there's crappy internet everywhere. It's a bit, yeah, goes that way sometimes. I'm lucky to have good internet. Oh, I'm here by myself. Hey, I got total control over the show. I have the power. Here, here. I have the power. Here, here. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know where to go with this. We're talking about like you're creating movies and stories and stuff like that, and I think that it's really easy to get stuck in the ideas and the world creating and stuff like that. And yeah, you to actually sit down and write something is the hardest thing. It's like I think the guy that did the voice of what's his name, Mr. Burns. He was saying he's written a few books himself, and they asked him about like does he like writing and how much does he love writing, and he says that he absolutely hates writing. He just loves having written, and I can sort of get where you're coming from. Like you sit down and actually have to take the stories and the ideas that are floating around inside your head and then actually have to get that out onto paper and have it in something that makes sense to others. It can be a little bit difficult. It can be a bit hard to do sometimes. It can be uh, the writer's block. Like all the stories, all the ideas flow freely and are just nonstop all the time until you sit down with a pen and paper and go to write it down, and then it's just brick wall after brick wall. I mean, it's not that way for everyone, and we each have our own experience, but it's understandable when you do hit walls like that. And the trick is to find a technique to get around it. Sometimes, like for myself, I find just giving up. You get to a point where you hit a wall and you can't go any further. Feel free to give up. It's a temporary giving up, but you're still giving up. You're just like you say, right, I'm done. I'm never doing this again. I hate this. I can't stand it. You put everything down and you walk away. 15 minutes later, the next day, whenever it happens to be, you go, you know what, I'm going to try that again. You pick it up and you give it another go. And this time it's a little bit easier and you get a little bit further before you give up. Then you give up and you walk away. That way, you never get to the point where you get so angry with everything you destroy all the great work you've done out of some sort of spite or anger. But I'm kind of running out of things to say. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure. I might have to back out myself, and uh, yeah. Unless there's like anyone in chat want to say anything. You've kept every single project you've ever started. Yeah, it's good to keep every single project you've started. They're like I think it's a good way of like looking back. I myself had like pages and pages of stuff that I'd written, like books of scraps of paper all stitched together of like poems and songs and stories and stuff like that. Maybe just like a paragraph of a story. Some of the stuff was kind of dark, and I was a teenager at the time, so it was like very teen angsty and dark, and the stuff that you come up with. Grandmother found it, threw it in the fire, then gave me a copy of the Bible. You run into different types of problems, but you attempt to redo them. What sort of problems do you run into down there? The example was your video game didn't work because you can't code, so you made it a board game. But now you're in the beta testing phase. Yeah, that's pretty good. I remember trying to do a tabletop version, the D&D tabletop. A bunch of us, I think there's like 4 of us, who'd never played before and wanted to get into it. Then they didn't have the time to go and work out how you get into it, so I went and had a look at how do you start playing D&D if you've never played before. And yeah, they it was really difficult. The amount of reading, the amount of knowledge you have just to start playing. I was looking at thinking that none of these guys is going to take the time to do that. They work all the time and then take a little bit of time to themselves. They don't want to spend that time reading D&D manuals. So I found a one shot, and even that was too much. And I essentially had to create my own version of D&D by cutting down the rules of D&D to the bare bones. It was quite an interesting experience. Unfortunately, we never played because nobody had the time because we were all working. Ah, that's the thing. You work all the time, you get in the money, and it's good. You got like the cash to splash, and like you've got all that. You're the high roller, the big spender. But then the time to have fun with your friends, the time to stop and smell the flowers, the ability to be carefree. Yeah, less money, less worries. Sometimes. Ha. Oh, maybe I'll give her another couple of minutes, see if she comes back, and then I might back out myself. Says table, the trouble with tabletop games, the amount of rules. You have over 120 board games, and it's a pain every time to learn them. Yeah, yeah. I wanted to like I've got myself. I went and grabbed like a couple of card games and board games, like Cards Against Humanity and Cthulhu Dice. It's just getting a group of people who you say like these days you say, hey, let's come around and play board games. Unless you're a nerd or like a board game aficionado, 9 times out of 10, adults aren't going to come around and play board games. At least that's been my experience. It's hard enough to get them to even want to come around and play computer games. They're like, how much beer do you have if I'm coming around to play computer games? It's like, yeah, I've got cartons of beer, but that's not the point. Yeah, that's the problem. It's a shame that a lot of these games, it's too hard to be able to play them over the internet to be able to do like a live stream gaming or something. It'd be an interesting thing to try and do. But then everyone's got to have a copy of the game themselves and recreate everyone else's moves. It's an absolute nightmare. Like a D&D you could probably do. A role-playing game. That tabletop online is pretty good. Tabletop simulator. Yeah, but then like half the point of the tabletop is that you've got the actual luck of the dice. You don't have some random number generator working off some algorithm. You only need TS. What's TS? Yeah, I don't know. Part of the fun of the board games, I think, is having the friends around, and like it's the um, sitting around. Our tabletop simulator. Okay, you get programmer's tabletop simulator, and then you get the modules. Okay, I might look into that, but yeah, part of the fun of the tabletop game is the tactile nature, is sitting around a table with friends and having to pass the dice and like sitting there in their other people's company and enjoying the company. That's a big part, I think, particularly when it's like for adult tabletops. For like kids, it's like, well, we just need to entertain the kids. I'm sure there's kids who really enjoy it, but the majority of the time, it's just entertain the kids. And like, yeah, for the adults who want a tabletop, and I don't mean like adult tabletop games like your giggity giggity, but yeah, for adults who want to play board games, it's more about the social environment and getting to be together with your friends again. like kicking the footy around. Like when the kids, like the boys go out for a couple of beers and kick the footy around down on the oval. It's not like they're actually training for football. It's about hanging out or there's not like there's a competition of who's actually going to win. Yeah, we're not there yet with the VR. The VR still seems a little bit clunky and a little bit, yeah, not quite Matrix yet. But that's about 15 minutes, and my puppeteer's wrist is getting really, really sore. He's done about 3 or 4 hours of streaming today, and this would be coming up to the fourth or fifth hour of streaming. So I'll just have a quick look. Nancy, thank you very much for letting me come onto the show and take over your channel like this. I'm guessing you're not going to be able to make it back, so I think I might sign off and end the stream. I'm guessing the link will still stay and things will still keep going, unless she disconnects it herself, because I'm not actually able to do that through StreamYards. But yeah, there's no point in me sitting here getting a really sore wrist. Yeah, and it's not my channel. It's not my place to keep going. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name there. Is it Geist? Geist? Geisty? However the name is pronounced. There should be puppets on the channel. There's a lot of other things on there as well. It's a TWTG content. I can't share my thing. Let's have a look. I think the first video you'll see is Arsehole Arrogant Cop. It's about an Aussie cop who was, yeah, I don't know if what he was doing was exactly legal, but he's just not a great guy. And then the rest of them are James Gray. But if you actually click on the videos, then E, phonetically, the Y is short for E. Jesse. I'm no good with pronunciations. But I'm just going to quickly open up my channel and have a look at what the first video is. Switching over your channel. So yeah, with it, the banner on the top of the background is a lake with the forest trees. Arrogant. The first video on the front page, on the home page for it, is Arrogant Arsehole Cop should lose his job. Then the next one is The Grey Way with The Grey Way, Season 1, Episode 1, The Gun Lobby. That's not me, by the way. That's James. That's his own thing. And then the third video on the homepage at the top is Trump's George Floyd Memorial video. And then if you click on videos, the first one will be gameplay 20201024.1. It's TWTG. Space is in between all the TW and the TG, then the word content. Also, you can hit me up on the Twitter at God's Teapot. I'm always contactable there. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Thanks for checking it out. If you haven't already liked and shared and subscribed to this channel, do so. It's got some really cool stuff. I got to check out more of the back catalog. And Nancy's good people. She's definitely good people. You should check out her stuff. Like, share, subscribe to her. I don't know what her social media handles are, but check those out too. Something I like to do on my channel at the end of the show is say, good night, God bless, live your life like a Kamehameha. Give it your all and make it last a really long time.